Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial. Today we're going to be talking about one of the major changes on the O3 level flag bridge. That is the space right inside of this door that used to be part of the flag officers' spaces. On New Jersey, the Admiral is out here on the flag bridge, but he does not have access to the armored conning tower. Only Iowa had the extra weight to make her a fleet flagship. New Jersey's armored conning tower stops right here at the armored deck and not a deck lower than that. So, to give Halsey, his peers, and their staffs some amount of splinter protection, they also had an interior room right here through this armored door. This door is locked. We're going to go around into the other door and talk about the changes made to this. But keep in mind, it is different on the various Iowa-class ships. Originally, right next to this armored door was a regular quick-acting watertight door. This is the top of the ladder that is supposed to come out of the flag staff room down outside of the Admiral's cabin up here to the flag bridge. Wisconsin still retains her original ladder coming out of what is now CEC on her to get up to the flag bridge, but New Jersey and probably the other two Iowas had theirs plated over and turned into a broom closet. Heading aft here, you can see the original view slits that would fold down to help enclose this space. But here you can see approximately 2.5 inches of STS armor plate that is enclosing the Admiral. So New Jersey's Admiral gets 2.5 inches of plate. Iowa's Force flagship conning tower gets 17 inches of armor plate. So this is how we get inside this space now, but it was not here in World War II. This breezeway was wider. This is a light locker that was added in 1982 when the ship was modified. Interestingly, you can see the original wooden deck in here. They left it intact. This was the original armored hatch going into the space. You can see the crenellations here. If this door is open, this is going to help eat up a lot of the light that is put in here. And it's all painted black like other light lockers on the ship. And then there's an exterior door there too. And there is no light in this compartment at all. So let's continue in. So this space was originally part of the flag spaces, like I said. But in '82, on New Jersey, Missouri, and Wisconsin, I believe, they all get it converted to hold the safes and some of the computer equipment for the guidance system for the Tomahawk cruise missiles. On Iowa, they converted the space aft of this, which is the signal flag shelter, a smaller but similarly armored space. Because she was set up as a fleet flagship, they retained some of the flag facilities on her. Much of the equipment in here has been stripped out. So for example, the piece that was mounted right here on this rack is no longer there. The Tomahawk cruise missile is a contemporary weapon system still in use. Other equipment is still here. So we've got the TCR safe. Look, it's got two separate number pads on it and secure shelving inside. More equipment that's been removed. You can see the electrical cables that hook up to that. And you can see that this space is just absolutely cluttered with electrical equipment. Look at those stuffing tubes there. That is quite the nest. Coming around here, we still have some safes. Here is that armored doorway I told you about. And then back here is possibly the only remnant of the original use of this space. Look at this 1940s era desk they chose to leave in here rather than remove. The Tomahawk cruise missiles of the 1980s, particularly the TLAM Tomahawk land attack missiles, used ground mapping GPS to get to their target. So they fly relatively low to try and come in under an enemy's radar so that counter missile batteries can't shoot them down. And they use a downward looking terrain mapping camera to look at the ground under them and match it to the terrain that has been loaded into their guidance computer before the missile was launched. These are not like modern smart missiles like we think about in movies or see in sci-fi, where they can do all sorts of fancy things. When an Iowa-class battleship deployed, she had to carry the guidance packages for her missiles in the expected combat area on board. For example, when Missouri and Wisconsin deploy to the Persian Gulf, they deploy with guidance packages for likely targets in Iraq already there, and then when they're told to engage this Republican Guard command post, they go to the safe, they flip through and they pull out the guidance package that gets the missile there and plug it into the missile. There aren't any computers here to update those guidance packages as far as I know. The way I understand it is if you are redeploying or much like during the Iraq War, we shoot out all of the original first-line targets and we still have missiles left. What do we shoot at now? They can fly out new guidance packages on a helicopter or something like that and bring them to the ship. So these packages are loaded in the missile fires, and it's looking down its whole flight to make sure that what it is flying over matches what the onboard guidance is telling it should be. Then at a certain point, it will kick up, go into the air, reach its attack altitude, and then come back down on the target to destroy it. The TASM missiles, or Tomahawk Sea Attack missiles, that this ship carried operate a little bit differently. They're designed to attack ships over the open ocean. There's no terrain to map down there. So you're basically programming into them a search pattern. You know where the target is now, but this missile can shoot some 200 or 250 miles. The target will have moved by the time the missile gets there. So you shoot your missile, basically you know what course and bearing your target ship is on. You shoot your missile pointed directly at where you expect that ship to be if it stays on that course. And when it gets there, it hasn't gone the full 250 miles. It's maybe only gone 150 miles. It gets to that point where you expected the enemy ship to be, and then it launches a search pattern and basically does a series of expanding circles to go out and find a target. And when it finds a target, then it'll pitch up and attack it. So, this space, originally used by Admiral Halsey to command 3rd Fleet during Leyte Gulf, Admiral Spruance to command 5th Fleet during his Central Pacific Islands campaign, by Clark when he commanded 7th Fleet at the end of the Korean War, by Wellborn when he commanded 2nd Fleet, NATO's striking force in the Atlantic. All of those famous admirals would have been in this space at some point or another commanding the ship. And in 1982, because the Navy did not want these ships to be reactivated and turned into admirals' yachts, they chose intentionally to convert it to another use. Because it was already armored, they chose to put the guidance equipment for the Tomahawk cruise missiles in here. Which of Battleship New Jersey's many admirals is your favorite? Let us know in the comment section down below. I definitely prefer Spruance over Halsey. He was a more thoughtful, calculating person, the Hamlet to Halsey's Macbeth. But what about you? Should the Navy have converted historically significant spaces like this to other uses? Let us know your thoughts on that in the comment section down below. I totally understand why they did it, but it still rips out my heart a little bit. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State and from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. We really appreciate your support. There's a link down in the description if you'd like to continue supporting the museum and our channel. Thanks for watching.